You may be considering opening an indie bookstore or buying an existing indie bookstore and rebranding it. And all of a sudden you're faced with this very critical question, a question so important, it literally could make or break your business moving forward. And in today's video, I'm going to cover the 5 things you should consider when identifying your bookstore's identity. All right, let's jump in. So the first consideration is your bookstore's theme. In other words, what exactly are you offering, right? Are you going to be a fiction bookstore like we are here at Spineless Reads? Are you going to be a general bookstore that carries everything? Do you sell only new? Do you sell used? Are you going to be niched down like you see a lot of bookstores nowadays opening and they're just a romance bookstore or just a horror bookstore? What exactly are you going to offer? What are you going to be? And that is critical to kind of establishing the first line of thought about the identity of your bookstore, because what you offer ultimately impacts all those other decisions. Your color scheme, your logo design, the actual name of your business should all wrap itself very neatly around the theme of your bookstore. So the very first question I would answer if I were in your shoes would be, what is our theme? Now here at Spineless Reads, like I said, we are a fiction bookstore, and I tell people that all the time. We sell all genres of fiction. We sell classic fiction, romance, sci-fi, thriller, horror, fantasy, you name it, we've got it. If it's fiction, we try to carry it. We have children's fiction, we have teen, YA, indie, all the stuff. Now, we've done that because it makes it very clear and easy for us to plan the type of stock we're going to carry, the type of messaging we want to send to our audience. But ultimately what we're doing, if we want to make it sound fancier, is we're selling escapism. We're selling an ability to kind of step out of the modern world or out of this current reality and go into some other place. That's what fiction does for us. That's what we are. Now, branding being our second consideration for identity is huge. And branding involves everything from your logo design to the colors you use in your logo, the fonts of the words in your logo, the color scheme that you associate with that brand, not just the logo. And you should carry those things into your bookstore. It impacts the color of your custom merchandise, right? When you order t-shirts, hats, bookmarks, stickers that have your business's logo on it, all of that is impacted by the decision about your branding. It also has a lot to do with the way you're going to project yourself in the store and out to the community via social media, and we'll talk about that as well. But first, I just want to kind of make note that when it comes to branding, don't rush through this step. It is critical. You will be married to that design, most likely, for the rest of your business's life. It's that important. I kind of consider this like naming a kid, right? Like once you name that kid, yes, you can legally change their name, but you don't want to, right? You don't want to have to go through all that. And I kind of look at the business like that. We chose our name very specifically. We chose our colors very specifically. And I brought 2 worlds together. I wanted to kind of encapsulate my own existence and my history with naval services, being the Coast Guard, the US Navy, and even Army watercraft. I wanted our t-shirts to kind of look like unit t-shirts from the military. We took the navy blue color for our shirts. Our logo was designed with all of that in mind. We have an octopus, but there's something else about all of these colors and about this logo design. It definitely screams fiction. It doesn't scream nonfiction. It doesn't necessarily say I'm new or used books, but it does kind of have a very modern feel to it. And so it's very easy for people to go, oh, I get it. Now, the only deviation from that we had was our name, Spineless Reads. Spineless Reads was originally going to be an ebook distribution company, but I decided to keep it because it was quippy and fun, and it got a lot of attention. People have a lot of questions, and it actually brings people in. When they see the logo, they see Spineless Reads next to the octopus. They go, what is that place? And their curiosity brings them in the front door. Now, it is clear that it's a bookstore. Once they step in, they go, I knew it was going to be a bookstore. They say that all the time. But it does give them enough curiosity to come in and ask the question and discover that we're a fiction bookstore and that we're selling new books and not used books. And so it is a way for us to kind of have a fun conversation about it. Is it super intuitive? No. But is it like so foreign that they can't figure out it's a bookstore? Absolutely not. And that was kind of important to us. And it's such a unique name that you don't really confuse us with anyone else. So we've kind of struck what I feel like is a great balance of unique identity, but easy to identify. And yeah, it seems to be working so far. So the next big consideration for your identity is going to be your physical presentation. In other words, what are your customers going to experience when they walk in your store? Are your books going to be just around the outer perimeter of the store, or are you going to have bookshelves that jet out into the middle, or create lanes? What is your color scheme inside your store going to be? And that would include the color of your walls, the color of your flooring, the color of your bookshelves, and the furnishings, right? So the different types of tables, the different types of countertops or checkout counter. We liked to mix the greens, the blues, and the wood tones, and for us, darker wood tones. So we focused on getting used furniture that had darker wood tones, and that was kind of fun, looked a little unique, but was definitely cheaper for us because it was secondhand. And then we also focused on matching some of the stains on our newer surfaces like the back counter and the point of sale system. And then the blues, we tested probably 2 or 3 different colors on the bookshelves. We tested like 3 or 4 different colors on the walls, and then finally settled on this green with this blue match for all of our bookshelves and walls. So the last thing I would note about your presentation is your decorations, and that is huge here. We kept our entire top shelf of all of our bookshelves is just out of reach for the standard customer, but we still built them because we wanted to fill them with decorations. We use that for seasonal theming. We use that for identifying the actual like genre of the bookshelves you're shopping in. And we bought those decorations all over town. But that's one of our biggest things is we wanted to decorate the store to make it fun and unique and welcoming, but also kind of intriguing and informative. And so, yeah, that's a really important question. And when people leave your bookstore, they tell people about the bookstore. They talk about you, the owner, or the other staff that they interacted with. They talk about what you carry, what they bought at your store, but they also talk about the vibe, right? What did they experience when they went in your store? What did it feel like? Was it cozy? Was it fun? Was it quiet? Was it like loud? Like what's going on there, right? They want to know where they're going and what kind of experience they're going to have when they get there, when it comes to, you know, having a bookstore recommended to you. So presentation for us was huge. And I would not overlook the fact that once you get your theming identified, it is going to inform your branding, and then that branding and theme are going to inform your presentation, right? So this is kind of like working in a linear fashion. Okay, and then the final factor I would like for you to consider is your social presentation. How do you appear to your customers or to the greater community outside of your store? And that would include your social media presence, your presence in local media like newspapers, online articles, basically outside the walls of your store. You're going to get a reputation, and that influence and that reputation are often reflected in the way you're viewed on social media. The way you present your bookstore on social media has a lot to do with what people will think about you before they even get to your store. We put new releases, we put out frequent videos at least once a week of like inventory that's coming in the shop. We also announce special events, the types of authors you bring in, the way you talk about those special events, the way you coordinate with other local industries and local businesses to host events or support their events. All of this comes into your external presentation, the way your business is perceived outside of your front door. We manage our interactions with community partners a very specific way. We pick and choose the types of events we want to donate goods to. We often donate tote bags or gift cards or t-shirts or books to local community, whether it be arts at the university or to like local teacher organizations. We're always trying to like make sure that whoever we're supporting, we're aligning with them in a very particular way. And that's all part of our external presentation here at Spineless Reads. So as you can see, these 5 considerations are very important to establishing the identity of your business. And this all starts before you ever open your doors. So paying for the logo, making sure that you know what kind of business you want to be, what kind of books you're going to carry, how you want people to perceive your store when they come in, how you want people to perceive your store from the outside. All of this is critical to establishing your business's identity. And it's a magical thing when it all comes together, but it has to be intentional. All right, let's keep this short and sweet. Those are my 5 top considerations for establishing your bookstore's identity. I'm Lucas. If you're new here, we're Spineless Reads, a fiction bookstore in Williamsburg, Virginia. I would love if you guys liked this video, subscribe to the channel. And of course, I want to hear from you. Drop your comments below. Let me know what you think about these points. And if you have some you would share with people opening a bookstore, or if you're opening one and you have a bunch of questions that weren't answered here, put them in the comments. Let's talk about them. All right, guys, see you in the next video.